Hi, I'm Joe Polizzi, and this is the Content Inc. podcast. 5 minutes every Monday for content creators who desire to be content entrepreneurs. Before I get into this week's episode, I am beyond excited to announce that a new podcast is coming to this Content Inc. channel. Starting this Wednesday, September 28th for 10 episodes, Darren Smith of Craftsman Creative and myself will break down what we are calling the 10K Creator Podcast. For the 10 weeks, myself and a group of amazing content entrepreneurs will be coaching Darren, a creator, writer, and film producer, in real time on how to grow his content business to 10,000 email subscribers and 10,000 in revenue per month. The goal of this show is to see how someone in the same creative stage as you, without the benefit of a massive audience, tons of connections, or an unlimited ad budget, can grow a sustainable content business that supports your creative work. Like many of you who subscribe to this podcast or follow The Tilt, Darren has been on a creator journey for the last year that started with his own book and a desire to help creators build their own businesses. In each episode, we'll talk about his business, his struggles, his successes, and share principles that both he and you can use right now to progress and grow. This first season will cover the journey from around 0 to 2,000 subscribers or 2,000 in revenue per month, how to get started on your creative content journey, the fundamental building blocks of a content business, and how to grow from this stage to 3 to 5K and 10K and beyond. We're especially excited for our sponsors for this season, Lulu, ConvertKit, and StreamYard, who also support creators with their content and their businesses. And by the way, a little hint here too. If you go back to episode 352 of this Content Inc. podcast, you can find it at contentinc.io. You'll hear me talking about this podcast strategy that I completely stole from Professor Scott Galloway. We'll know whether or not it's going to work, but so far it's been brilliant, as we would have never received the 3 sponsorships we did without already having the audience at this current Content Inc. podcast stream. So, I hope you listen to the first episode of the 10K Creator Podcast on Wednesday and beyond, and I really appreciate all your support. Okay, on to the show. You'll hear in an upcoming 10K Creator show about setting up tentpole pieces of content. I use this phrase tentpole from my colleague Robert Rose, who's been teaching using these for quite some time. So visualize this. You have a platform, say a blog or a podcast, and you're consistently delivering content and slowly growing audience. Basically, if this is working well, you're climbing a hill with a small incline for a long period of time. Well, how do you move the needle and bump your audience up to a different level? With a tentpole piece of content or a tentpole project. This could be an event, a research report, or, as you'll find out for this podcast, a new podcast series through a partnership. Now let me chat about how we've done this at The Tilt. So our main platform is our email newsletter. We publish the newsletter every Tuesday and Friday morning and have been doing so without missing a day for 18 months now. We've grown our email subscribers to around 16,000 and going. Now this is all good, but what if we want to grow faster than this? Now, I believe, and I've told the Tilt team this, that our content model will work much better at a 25,000 engaged email subscriber list. So that's our current BHAG, or Big Hairy Audacious goal. To get there, we need tentpole pieces of content. Now, I like to plan these out on a quarterly basis and make them part of the overall editorial calendar. These projects take time, but they are incredibly important to jumping up to the next level. So for The Tilt, our third quarter tentpole piece is this 10K Creator Podcast you just heard about. We are anticipating picking up a whole new audience, and our audience should check out Darren's work as well, and Darren's audience will check out our work, and then when we have some very special guests on the podcast, we should pick up some of their audience. Podcast to email subscriptions would be the perfect formula for us. For the fourth quarter, we are partnering with HubSpot on a research project for business content creators. Now, we anticipate well over 500 new email subscribers to come in from this initiative. Great tentpole piece you'll be hearing about in a month or so. Now, for the first quarter of next year, we start our third annual Creator Economy / Content Entrepreneur Benchmark Research Report. This has been our biggest tentpole piece or project since we started. We also partner with Ann Hanley and Brian Clark on this, and our audience overlap quite a bit. Another great tentpole piece. And in the second quarter, maybe the granddaddy tentpole project of them all is Creator Economy Expo 2023, May 1st to 3rd in Cleveland, Ohio. We anticipate over 500 paid attendees for this, with over 30 speakers with their own audiences, and we should jump our current audience numbers quite a bit. There's nothing like an in-person event with media partners and sponsors and influencers to take your content brand to the next level. Plus, we certainly think we'll be profitable for this event as well. For the independent content entrepreneur, I feel like quarterly tentpole projects is the right mix. Also, as you can tell, I believe partnerships work better than standalone content pieces that's just you doing them. If you're trying to reach out and get a new audience, it can't just be you. So think about adding tentpole projects into your content calendar. I think you'll find that they will take your business to an entirely new level. Good luck.